A couple of weeks ago, I updated you guys on everything that's going on here in the basement gym. And in this week's video, I want to focus a little bit more specifically on the DIY pieces that I mentioned in that previous video. I'm going to cover each of those pieces and go into detail on some of the possible uses of each of those pieces to ensure that you can get the most out of your home gym. But before we get into the video, hi, my name is Ryan Treadaway, founder of TreadawayTraining.com, where we turn skinny guys into jacked men. If you want more information on body transforming training and nutrition topics every Sunday, consider subscribing. Like with last week's video where we talked about home gym accessories, we're gonna go in order of least to most important. That way we can make sure you stick around to the end. And for the first couple of pieces that are pretty self-explanatory and don't really do a whole lot, we're gonna cover those in a rapid fire fashion and just get those out of the way. First up is this DIY weight tree. This one in particular is just a skateboard ramp from when I was a kid that has 6 metal posts welded onto it to make a weight tree. And I know that's a little bit specific and a lot of you guys aren't gonna have anything like that laying around, but it's just an idea to kind of get the juices flowing to see, you know, what might I have laying around that I could turn into a weight tree. Similar to the weight tree that we just showed, we have bumper plate storage right here, and this is actually a fish tank stand that was flipped upside down, but you could achieve something similar to this just by cutting some 2x4 to length and then screwing them together. And one thing that I would recommend that would make this a little bit better is if you made some dividers to separate the weight plates and help them to stand up. That way you don't have to get them perfect to prevent them from falling over. Here are a couple of super fast, easy DIYs that I wanted to mention real quick. These two don't add anything to your gym in terms of versatility or anything like that. But if you do spend a lot of money on a barbell, of course you want to protect that investment. You want to protect the knurling. And with these pin pipe safeties, this is just metal that's powder coated, and if you fail a lift, if you fail a squat and have to drop the bar or something like that, it's gonna mess up your knurling. So what we did right here is we just took the foam that came in the box with the bar. So this is just what came on the sleeves to protect the sleeves during shipping, and they just so happen to be the same diameter as these pin pipe safeties. So we just slid that foam right on there. Really quick, easy DIY. And one thing that we're probably gonna do in the future that'll look a little bit nicer is to actually take a saw and chop down the barbell tube that the bar came in and just spray paint that black to where it'll look a little bit nicer and put that on here instead. That'll be a little bit more durable as well, but also still offer that protection. And the other one that we have right here, these two rubber bands, I have one on this J-cup, one on the other J-cup. These are the rubber bands that came on the stopping point of the sleeve of the barbell to protect that during shipping, and we just put those on the J-cups right here because with these monster light J-cups, you have the UHMW plastic on the back and on the bottom, but that front hook still is bare metal, which is something that I would think Rogue should fix in the future, is to put UHMW plastic right here as well. But what we did is just slide those rubber bands down on there, put some tape around it. That way you're, again, protecting that bar. Next is a DIY landmine setup, and you don't really have to have anything extra to be able to do a landmine. Really, you just need a barbell in a corner and you can do landmine exercises. But if you are gonna do that DIY route, you're gonna be tearing up your walls. So what we did in this solution is we just took a thick cardboard box that something was shipped in, cut it to fit the corner, added some tape, and then added some scrap carpet that was laying around to cushion the wall and keep the bar from ruining the wall. Next is by far the simplest on the list, and that is simply a stack of wood. Now you can use these for a number of different reasons. Basically just any time that you need to create space, you can put these on your chest. If you wanted to do block presses, you can do deficit deadlifts by standing on top of the wood, or you can do calf raises and use these as a way to get that foot elevation so that you can get a full range of motion. Now another DIY that is going to be coming in the very near future is we're actually going to be building a little bit more of a dedicated foot platform for the calf raises. That's very simple. I'll throw a picture up on the screen similar to the idea that I had in my head that I found online, and that's going to be a lot better for the calf raises. It's going to be able to get your feet higher up off the ground without just stacking a bunch of wood pieces that could potentially shoot out from under your feet when you get to the bottom of a calf raise. Now, next up isn't technically a DIY in the sense that I didn't buy this handle, I purchased this handle, but it is a DIY in the sense of you can use different pieces of equipment for purposes that they weren't necessarily intended for. And with the Viking press handle, you can actually do seated calf raises very simply. Simply take a towel or some type of pad that you can put under each of these handles so that it's not digging into your leg too bad, and then pull the weight up, put it on top of your knees, and boom, you have a seated calf raise that feels actually very similar to a machine seated calf raise. And getting a little bit more specific with the seated calf raise, we have essentially a complete DIY calf raise machine. So we have a Landmine bar set up in the corner. We have a floor jack with just a cheap old rag to keep the bar from getting scratched up on the floor jack. We have our weight on here, and then you're gonna need some good quality collars to keep this from sliding once you start putting a lot of weight on there. So you have a collar at the top, a collar at the bottom, and then we have this little sleeve here that goes on your barbell sleeve that allows you to attach handles to a Landmine setup. Then we have a lat pull bar, and then just some pull foam noodle that is going to be used to keep the bar from digging into your legs. And so this works out really, really, really well. This feels essentially like a calf raise machine without having to purchase a calf raise machine. And then once we get that dedicated foot platform built here in the next week or two, this is gonna feel basically just like an actual calf raise machine. Another DIY that is a little bit specific but I feel is worth mentioning is that if you happen to have a neutral grip pull-up bar, because of how wide they are, you can actually put these across the top of most squat racks and use them as a DIY pull-up bar as well. And one tip that I will give you, one thing that I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna get some vinyl tubing, I'm gonna split that down the middle long ways, and then I'm gonna put that across the top on each of these two rails and glue that on so that I'm not scratching this attachment or the top of the squat rack. The best DIY that you could possibly do for your home gym is to add a DIY cable setup. I really wanted to save this for the last part of this video, but there are a couple of other smaller DIYs that go along with this that wouldn't make sense if I would have explained those first. A cable setup is one of the most versatile pieces of equipment that you could ever own. You can train literally every single muscle of your body with a cable setup. I actually made a dedicated video that walks you through 4 different cable setup options and how to make those if you're interested in making one for yourself. But the one that I have here is a high pulley and a low pulley. So there are dozens and dozens of exercises that you can do with just this piece of equipment and a few weight plates. You guys already know how to use a cable setup, so rather than boring you by listing a million different exercises that can be done with this thing, I thought I would focus on some of the more creative exercises that I've come up with that might be a benefit to you. Things like leg raises, leg extensions, single leg curls, double leg curls, 2-arm Bayesian cable curl, and bringing back in a couple of the previous DIYs, cable calf raises using the lat pull bar, and then the noodle for padding and the wood blocks for the foot elevation. If you're using a high cable pulley setup like this one for your lat work, one issue that you're going to eventually run into is when you have a bunch of weight on there and you're trying to do your heavy lat pull downs, you're gonna start pulling yourself up off the seat. So how do you hold yourself down? And the option that I've come up with that works the best for me and this particular setup is simply using a weight pin with some plates on it and a towing strap. And then you simply put the towing strap at the bottom of the weight pin, put the plates on top, then you put the tow strap on your waist, and just like that, you're held down and you're able to continue increasing the weight with your lat pull downs. And question of the day, because I haven't done one of these in a while, what DIYs have you done in your home gym that have turned out particularly well? Because I would love to incorporate more DIY stuff in this gym as well. If you want to check out my gym tour, check out this video. If you want to learn how to make a DIY cable setup for yourself, watch this video. As always, God bless you and your family, and we'll see you next week. Later. Zip. Rex, you can't even see it because you're covering it up. You're covering up the whole thing that I'm trying to show in the video. Or move. One of the two.